Hi, my name's Brad. I've been coming to AWC now for a little under 2 years, and I'd like to share my story with you tonight. So when I was young, in elementary school age, I didn't have any brothers or sisters or anything like that, so other than park programs, my parents would ship me off to Christian Bible camps up in Sussex, called Circle Square Ranch. And I just loved it so much that I'd come home and beg my parents to go back. And it was an expensive week. Back in the 90s, it was like $500-600 a week per kid, and they would send me because I just begged and loved it that much. That's where I first met Jesus, and it was just over the moon with it all. As I get into my early adolescent years, I was a really heavy kid growing up. I dealt with a lot of self-esteem issues. I just tried to fit in where I could. Going into my early teens, mid-teens, that's when me and my friends started drinking and smoking weed and things like that. We'd skip class to smoke weed, and we'd drink before school dances and hockey games, and that's just kind of what we did for fun. And then I could never really drop it. It was something that I began smoking weed every day. I drank every weekend. I never took a weekend off because it's just what we did. And next thing you know, 20 some years flies by, and I couldn't kick the habit. I just drank every weekend. And as I became an adult, the pressures of life, I think it got even worse. I just masked a lot of my problems with alcohol. And then I got introduced to drugs that would help me drink more alcohol longer. And then I became dependent on that. And then, when you're living that type of lifestyle, along with that comes a lot of bad decision making, a lot of poor choices, a lot of guilt, depression, regret. So that was something that just haunted me all the time. I wanted to give it up. I tried to give up alcohol on my own, and most of the time I couldn't get 5 days in, just 5 days. I worked through it all. I raised a family through it all. I don't imagine I was the best father, and the guilt from that still kind of haunts me because we never really got to do a lot as a family, because on the weekends, that's what I did. If I weeded the garden, I drank beer. It was just kind of my lifestyle. One day I'm sitting about 2 years ago, I'm sitting out after a weekend bender of some pretty bad decisions. I'm sitting out in the parking lot at work. I'm staring ahead at my steering wheel and thinking, I want to give this up, and I don't know how, and I can't keep doing. I can't come to work Monday morning feeling, embarrassed about the weekend and what I did, and it just really got to me. And then all of a sudden, I just called on Jesus right there and then, and I hadn't done that for my whole life, except for when I was a little kid. And the second I called on him, he answered. Jeremiah 33:3, call upon the Lord and he will answer. And it's like, I didn't even get the thought out of my head, but my heart and immediately he showed up. Euphoric feeling, love. I described my life. I was kind of miserable. I walked around with these gray rain clouds over top of me all the time, and the second I made that decision, the clouds parted, the sun came out. I just remember being changed right there on a dime. So I came home that night, and I got on the internet and I started looking for faith-based recovery programs, and I found one offered here at this church. It was called Celebrate Recovery at the time. Now it's called the Olive Branch. I remember being on the internet and looking up this church, and I seen a picture of a leader here who I had played minor hockey with and gone to school with right up to grade 12. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. Well, I went to bed that night and I had a dream about him. And I don't recall ever dreaming when I was in this alcoholic. I don't remember a dream for 20 years. And all of a sudden I had a pretty lucid dream. That was on a Saturday night. 3 days later, the program here on Tuesday nights, I thought I'd walk over and give it a try. And I got here into the parking lot and I got cold feet. And I said, not tonight, Brad. Let's try it again. And I went to leave. I went to turn in the parking lot and I was walking home. And a vehicle kind of pulled in the parking lot and cut me off. And out of the car got that guy I hadn't seen in 20 years that I dreamt about. He hopped out and was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I was thinking about coming here." And he just took me by the arm, brought me in here, and my life changed pretty much that day. That program was a really big help. The community, the people, the family I've met here, like without them, I don't even think I would have made it. It's just like I needed to be around people who could help me with my relationship with God. And outside of here, I didn't have that at all. I had nobody. So I knew it was going to be a tough road. So I joined as many ministries here as I could. I just wanted to be around people here as much as I could. And there's some people in this church that really impacted me. And, so for a lot of years I was lost. And my favorite verse in the Bible is Luke 15:4-7. It's the parable of the lost sheep. If there was a shepherd with 100 sheep and one of them ran away, would you not leave the 99 to go find the one? And when you found him, put him on your shoulders, bring him back, and rejoice with your family and neighbors? And it's the same in heaven. When one sinner repents, it's the same rejoicing in heaven. And that just meant so much to me. Like, I was that lost sheep, and he came and found me, even though I called on him. But that's how it felt, and it really impacted me.